Dear heads of state and governments, heads of international organizations, ministers, and high-level representatives from government, civil society, and academia and business, I would like to acknowledge and pay tribute to Angel Gurria for his leadership and impressive record as head of OECD during all these years. Of the many legacies that Angel Gurria will leave, the emphasis given to Latin America and the Caribbean in the work of OECD will clearly be one of them, including the OECD LAC program that convenes us today on its fifth anniversary. I also would like to acknowledge the presence of Matthias Cormann, Australian former finance minister, congratulate him in his appointment as incoming Secretary General of OECD, and wish him all the best. You can count on us, on ECLAC's full contribution and collaboration to further strengthen our partnership. Along these 5 years of existence, the OECD LAC program had the opportunity of intensifying our partnership. For ECLAC, it has been an honor working hand in hand with OECD. We have been partners through different initiatives such as policy dialogues, data collection, analysis and reports jointly done by our two institutions, including with the Office of the Secretary General, different thematic directorates such as the Global Relations Directorate, and of course the Fiscal Policies Directorate. In showing why measuring well-being and progress is a key priority to define better policies for better life, I think has been the centerpiece of our joint work. In collaborating with LAC countries, we have been able to identify new ways of taxation as well as how to take part of global value chains. And in regional dialogue platforms such as the Latin American Economic Outlook, known as LEO, where we have different LAC development challenges, to name only some of them. In this part, I would like to acknowledge the great contribution of Mario Pezzini, Director of the Center of Development of OECD. He has been really a great partner and a great friend of the region and of ECLAC. Ladies and gentlemen, the international economy has been going through a period of major transformations where climate change, migration, technological revolution, increased trade disputes, and health are just some examples. The world is facing old and new challenges, and this calls for new agreements and policies. The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, together with its 17 SDGs or Sustainable Development Goals, calls for a paradigm shift from the prevailing development patterns and the existing culture of privilege towards a new model that has to prioritize sustainability and equality. This global agenda requires the prioritization towards inclusive growth, elimination of poverty, and of course, moving towards sustainable patterns of production and industrialization. COVID-19 has brought new challenges, has magnified our vulnerabilities, and evidenced the importance to keep up working together and reinforcing support to Latin American and Caribbean countries. Latin America and the Caribbean is a region in transition. We are calling this region a development in transition that faces, first of all, an undiversified production structure characterized by very low productivity and the lack of technology upgrading, and the closure of more than 2.7 million of small and medium-sized companies with great impacts on employment, such as estimating for 47 million jobs has been. Despite this significant progress that the region has made in the last decade in terms of social inclusion, in just 2020 we were losing, I would say, in terms of poverty and inequality, 45 million people fall into poverty, and the Gini index has increased in terms of 1 or 8 percentage points. Thirdly, Latin America, and especially the Caribbean, are highly vulnerable to climate change. The negative effects of natural disasters have impacted particularly the small economies of Central America and the Caribbean. And finally, we are confronting a very limited taxation capacity and the lack of fiscal space to address the emergency. So we need to move urgently into progressive tax structures. Addressing these global challenges will require a renewed approach to partnerships, new international cooperation perspectives based on common interests and values and strong complementarities. Dear friends, the pandemic has sent shockwaves through societies and has proven that we need multilateralism more than ever. I wish to congratulate you today, again to pay tribute to Angel Gurria and of course to our dear friend Mario Pezzini. Thank you very much.